So recently I bought the Illiad, right, by home. And the reason I bought it is because when I read the context of this book, somehow it connected with me at a deeper level. And I've watched a lot of movies that portray the Illiad, right? Like the movie Troy, where Achilles is played by Brad Pitt, if I'm not mistaken. And recently, Christopher Nolan did a movie also, The Odyssey, based on the actual book, The Odyssey by Homer. So I've decided to buy this book because there's something to it that I feel like it resonates with me at a deeper level, and I just started reading this, I think, 2 days ago. It's a really huge book, but I don't mind it though. I started reading it 2 days ago, and my pre-assumption, because I haven't read it fully, but my pre-assumption is that we are all Achilles, and the reason I say that is because I believe we have this great power that we have to use for the right moments and the right times, right? Because this book basically talks about the Trojan War, right? And how the Greeks couldn't fight, the Trojan soldiers without Achilles, because Achilles was the greatest warrior. So I feel like also this war, for me, when I interpret it, is not only about the physical war, it is also about the spiritual war that we're going through. It's a war based on the blue shift and the red shift. It's the war against heaven and hell. It's the war against the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain. I feel like that's the war that we are going through as human beings, and I believe that we are all Achilles, right? We are the greatest warriors of our own story. And I say this because the reason I like the Illiad, not only paints a picture about the spiritual war that we're going through, it also paints the picture about the virtue that you have as a human being. The virtue that you bring as a human being into this world. Because part of being part of being a human being also is not only fulfilling your purpose, because I wouldn't say Achilles, his purpose was to fight. I would say his purpose was to become the greatest warrior. I would say that his purpose was simply not having a purpose, and that is why he was great being on the battlefield, because he wasn't kind of a warrior that would train every single day. He wasn't that kind of warrior that would think about tactics on how to do this. He was simply living a simple life where he didn't care about the war so much, but he knew that when he was needed, he needed to be there to support his soldiers, to support his brothers. And I feel like that's when you get more responsibility, when you stop caring about everything, when you draw the line between what you should care about and what you should not care about. And that's what makes you the bigger person. That's what makes you the stronger person. Because we all want to believe that the more I have purpose, the more I have that as a particular responsibility that I have to fulfill. And that's not how it works. We are responsible of many things. We are responsible of multiple of things. There are a lot of things that we have to do, right? There are a lot of things that you have to do as a human being. But some of them are not for you to be responsible of. And that's why I say you must learn to draw the line. You must learn to set up the boundaries to say, this is my problem and this is not my problem. Same as Achilles. He knew his own problems. And that is why he would live without a care in the world. But he knew when to pick his battles. And most of the time, he won. Because he knew the boundaries. He set the boundaries there. He knew when to fight and when not to fight. Right? So that's why I would say I resonate with Achilles at a larger perspective, because I feel like I am also the warrior. This physical body is the warrior. And the kingdom that I'm fighting for, which is my soul and my spirit, that I have to protect. You know? I am the warrior, I am the king, I am the queen. I am all the pieces on the chessboard. And I have to protect my territory at all costs. It's because people will do certain things to try and pull you down. You know, they'll try to pull in the Trojan horse as a part of a gift to say, I give you this. But majority of the time, they're trying to slander you, or they're trying to cause a downfall upon you, some way, somehow. You know, they are always there trying to stage a performance that feels entertaining for you, but then again, they're trying to backstab you at some point. And that's why I feel that the Illiad, it's a perfect resonation of what we are going through. You know, what you are going through as a human being. You know what I'm saying? Because they will try to infiltrate you, they'll try to act like they are your allies, they are your friends, they are this and this and that, they're trying to help you. But everyone understands, every human being understands that we are in the jungle. You know, it's the survival of the fittest. And you do anything just to get at the top. You know? And it's the spiritual warfare that you're going through. You know? Because I also believe that there are certain energies that come through posing as the Trojan horse. You know? There are certain energies that you would have to read before they infiltrate you as the Trojan horse. You get what I'm saying? So we must learn to understand such things. Because I don't think when Homer wrote this was simply trying to storytell, or was simply trying to sing a poem that was simply just a poem for you to be entertained. He was trying to reach you at a deeper level. He was trying to make you to decipher the words that were sang on the poem. And same goes for you. Because I feel like also the movies that we watch, the songs that we listen to, they are meant to be deciphered. They are meant to paint a broader perspective on how you view yourself and the life that you are living as a human being. Because I don't think they were merely for entertainment. I think they were beyond that. You know? So Homer, he understood what he was writing. Because his context, I would believe that his context was based on spirituality and how to protect the soul also. You know? Not only merely for entertainment, as we would be doing, as we would be performing the arts today. We perform arts merely for entertainment. And I don't believe arts is for entertainment. I believe it's for coding deeper messages into a particular song or into a particular piece of an art. Could be a painting, It could be the act on a stage. It could be different things, different types of art. So these things, they're not just merely for entertainment. They paint a broader perspective on how you are the same person that they wrote about, how you are the same person that they sang about on a certain song. So I feel like I'm Achilles, and I'm the warrior who has to fight to protect my soul and my spirit from other evil spirits, from other spirits that I would feel they're trying to cause a downfall upon me. And I also have to be the hero of my own story, because there's only me who can save me. The choices that I make, they paint a pathway towards the future that I'll be in. That's how I become the hero. That's how I become the person to tell the story later on. Because it seems like every time when we're going through a rough patch, we seem to be waiting for a miracle to happen, and there's no such. It's been said in a lot of books to say you have to be the one who writes your own story. You have to be the one who directs your own movie, because no one is going to be there to make the toughest choices. It's you. To make the simplest choices, it's you. Who creates his own future? It is you. And I always emphasize the point to say, whatever you consume becomes the product of your environment, and also becomes the product of your future. The choices that you make becomes the product of the tomorrow you. As much as we try to hide away from the responsibility and accountability, to try to give someone the responsibility to say, I need a miracle, I need a blessing for these things, that's never going to work. Because a soldier, when it's on a battlefield, it doesn't wait for God to help him. He has to fight until the end, until he meets the end of his line. When soldiers go to war, they fight until the end. Same as you. You are here and you are going to maneuver through this world. However way you have to maneuver it, I don't know it, you know it. But however way you maneuver through it, it is in your way, because you are the one who paints the picture. You are the one who paints the pathway for the tomorrow you. I feel like the Illiad talks about that Achilles chose to draw his story, his story on a canvas, to create a pathway for himself. As much as he was admired as the greatest warrior, he still knew the boundaries that he had to set for himself. He knew that if someone is to insult me for the power that I have, then I will not let them slander me down. You get what I'm saying? He knew that people would come as Trojan horses. They'll come as different things, different types of things, because they're trying to slander you. They're trying to make you feel better about yourself. The more you feel better about yourself, the more you start to derail from your own context, or from your own story, or from your own perception of how you want to see the tomorrow you. So you have to paint the picture, and you have to understand that the more and more you become the greatest of you, the more and more responsibilities of bad things will come upon you. They will come pointing spears, side by side, trying to make you, have a downfall. And that's just a part of it. That's the part of character development. That's the part of growing. That's the part of evolution. That's the part of having struggles that shape you mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. It all comes with challenges. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. You have to go through it. You have to go through it.